All right, just tweeting the stream. Pick Central on a Football Friday, live, myself and Ev. Marty will be with us shortly, I believe. Brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Nothing delivers comfort and joy quite like the unrivaled quality and taste of Omaha Steaks. It's guaranteed perfection in every single bite, and right now you can save on unforgettable gifts with 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com, plus score an extra $30 off with promo code PICKS. With 5 generations of experience, they consistently deliver the world's best steak experience, and the gifting experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to deliver the perfect gift with thoughtfully curated packages featuring gourmet favorites. From legendary steaks to mouthwatering desserts and more, save 50% off site-wide for a limited time at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners can get an extra $30 off with promo code PICKS. That's 50% off at OMAHA steaks.com, and an extra $30 off with promo code PICKS. Minimum purchase may apply. All right, Football Friday, let's recap last night, a doozy of a game.
What a game.
Yeah.
What a game. I mean, in my opinion, too, we already knew, obviously, Detroit was one of the best teams in the NFC. I feel like that should have solidified the Packers as well, even though I think we already kind of knew they're obviously in that, 3 spot probably.
Yeah, I think if you're the Packers, you come out of this and say, we went to their home field, played them to a 3-point game, that we had some opportunities left on the table. They didn't score field goals instead of touchdowns. So they come out of this being like, if we get these guys in the playoffs, this is now our chance.
It's tough, though, because they have had their number. I think they're 8-1 against them in the last 9 times. They've really owned them. And I think my biggest thing, I thought that was kind of the biggest play in the game that was kind of what's going on, is I love how aggressive Dan Campbell is. When he went for it, I'm his 30, that was crazy. And I'm a guy, I defended him through and through about how I love the aggressiveness. I love going for twos. I love going for on 4th down your own territory. Even I think it was whatever the last Monday night game was, or 2 Monday nights ago, whatever it was, when the Ravens did it, Harbaugh made the call. They were on their own 20, and they were losing. He goes for it. That sparks him. They pick it up, go score a touchdown. So I understand it. And I think he just trusts the team so much, and you just trust you have such a dominant offensive line. You have the best running back tandem in the league. You're fuck it, I trust my guys to go get a yard. They don't get it and basically spotted him a touchdown the other way because the Lions defense played well, but they also, they were moving the ball quite a bit,
right?
The Packers. So that was a crazy move. That was one of those where, as much as I'll defend, the aggressiveness, that one, even in the moment, I was you're up 3, just kick or over there up 10 or 3. No, they're up 3.
3.
Just kick one time, just kick the ball away. But yeah, that was my biggest takeaway. But no, the Lions are they're just really fucking good.
Yeah, I think you take a lot of positives out of this if you're a Packers fan as well.
Yeah, you can hang.
You can hang with everybody. And this is the bad boy on the block. You've also, if you're the Packers, granted Saquon went, and it was a neutral field, but Saquon ran all over you. But the Packers hung with the Eagles. So now you look at the Packers, what do the Packers have to worry about? They went toe-to-toe with the 2 best teams that are going to have 1-2 in the NFC.
Just that if they're just still a tier below, but I think that's the
close
concern.
Games. I don't know. If you're a Packer fan, I think you come out of this with positive.
Yeah, I think overall you do. You're there, but at the same time, you're still probably feeling if we play, if we both play an even, a similar type game, they're that level is better than us, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Anything else to take out of it? Goff was great, obviously.
He had the bad pick, though, and that's something that it's been...
That was a bad pick, that guy sliding over.
He's been sporadic with it a little bit, where, he has these, great stretches, and then he has, some moments, where that was a bad one, obviously in your own territory like that. The Lions' offense is just such a machine.
They have a lot of weapons.
They just have so many guys... even St. Brown last night was really a he made a couple catches late. That Matt
Patrick coming on board.
Yeah, he scores 2 touchdowns. Obviously, Williams is great. Montgomery and Gibbs are unreal.
A lot of options.
Laporta's a stud tight end, obviously. And their offensive line is just dominant. And they didn't even have Taylor Decker last night. Their left tackle's out. They just have their offense is just loaded. I was almost trying to remember an offense this good on every level in a while. We just have elite offensive line, elite running backs, elite receivers, strong tight ends, good quarterback. They really have no weakness.
No.
Offensively, I'm saying. Offensively, they don't really have a weakness.
And it's an offensive game too nowadays. It's
they just can score with anybody.
Need to have options.
They can score with absolutely anybody.
Yeah.
If they get guys coming to Detroit and let Goff just play in the dome, which like as long as they keep handling business, they're going to.
Their defensive line's an issue.
For
lot of issues.
No, for sure. No, their
See if you
defense
can pull
has
up
holes.
I sent that text.
Their defense has holes.
Tweet last night in the group chat. There's like a million guys hurt for their defensive line.
Yeah, McNeil went down last night, who's the stud player. Branch got hurt last night, one of their better players. So defense is always, but their offense just like if they get in shootouts with people, they'll probably still like where they're at.
If they have if they're home all playoffs, I'll take them to win. I don't think they can go into a Philly or any road game and end up winning with their current roster.
I agree. I would probably agree.
Yeah, because I think that like when you look at like what their holes at the defensive line, like a running back like Saquon Barkley will like absolutely tear them up.
Plus Philly's offensive line.
Don't they play each other soon?
No, I was just fucking,
They
just fucking
don't.
with
They
Phil.
don't. They have the Bills though. That could be.
That's
Super
who
Bowl
it is. They
preview.
play the Bills.
But also, if the Lions were to drop that game, they'd still hold the 1 seed because it's an AFC loss, not an NFC loss. The way the tiebreakers
So
work.
like, they need him to lose 2, basically.
That was kind of a big one last night for the
It
Eagles.
was massive.
Packers winning
Massive
would have been
the
huge for
Eagles.
them.
Massive for the Eagles.
'Cause I agree with you,
Lions
Phil.
took care of business.
I honestly, I'll tell you what. I still think the Eagles can definitely go into Detroit and win.
I'd feel better about the Eagles winning in Detroit than I would about Detroit winning in Philly.
100% agree.
All right, let's do. You weren't here yesterday. Let's run through the college card first because I think
Let's
you
do
can
it.
actually run through every game.
Yeah, there's only there's 9 games.
Yeah, so it's in New York. It's not on.
I bet pretty much
not
most
on.
of them
It's
already.
not on my list because I'm in New York right now. But Tulane Army.
I bet Army.
Really?
In the under.
I like Tulane.
I'll tell you. No, I was gonna be on Tulane the whole time. I actually think Tulane like overall is like a better team. 2 big things coming off the loss like to Memphis. I feel like that's a weird way to kind of go into this championship game. I saw some stat that it was like basically teams who like lose that game and then go into the championship game, they're like 5-10.
Damn.
Like don't perform very well. And this is the Louisiana team coming up to my neck of the woods, coming up to the Hudson Valley, playing at Mikey Stadium
On a
It's gonna be-
Friday
it's gonna
night, right? It's
gonna
tonight?
It's gonna be cold as hell tonight,
Yeah.
Bosco. We see it here. It's cold as hell. Maybe some snow. I think these Louisiana boys coming like that's. It's funny because we don't really do it much in college football. Like in the NFL, obviously, it's a big thing. We always talk about it. It doesn't have much college football. We started talking about with the college football playoff that it could be a thing. Like some of these SEC teams having to come to Big Ten country. This is kind of a version of that, where like you see this Southern team has to come up north, play up a rugged, like obviously triple option physical Army team in this cold weather at their home place, like not neutral, like in their true home stadium. I'll take the points and the under.
Okay.
I just think if this is played in the Dome or like if it's played in Florida, I genuinely think I'd be on Tulane. I think so many things line up for Army in this game.
Don't you think Army's a little banged up though?
In what regard? Just that they had to play Notre Dame a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
or,
that. I mean, I feel like the quarterback is still. He's not. Is he back to 100%?
I mean, he's been playing.
All right.
And this is conference title game. I just think like too much of the weather and just the situation like plays.
Tulane's well coached though, and Brad had
Totally,
a point.
no, some-
They've been shutting down option teams.
So I saw some stats like both of them have been like very good. Like they both Summerall and him have been like really strong against the spreads. Like in similar situations that they're going into. So almost like a check on like they both have been good. But yeah, I like Army in the points. I like the under. I think it's just a low scoring game. I think Army can grind it out. At least keep it close. They're getting 5.5.
Western Kentucky, Jacksonville State. I'll be honest, Jacksonville State -4, total 58.5. I'll be honest, Conference USA has. I don't think I put a bet on a Conference USA team this year. I'm going to be honest. I really
just
am.
like them during
It's
the week.
Completely out of the radar for me.
I just don't think Western Kentucky's gonna be able to defend the run. Jacksonville State can run the ball really well. I think that's gonna be where they win. I took Jacksonville State in the over.
What did Brad say about this one? Isn't there an injury concern with Western Kentucky or
I have
Jacksonville
no
State?
idea.
I know Western Kentucky. I think has some injuries, but I know like the biggest thing that I was looking at is like they just can't defend the run, and I think that's going to be a huge problem for them.
Okay.
Jacksonville State loves to run the ball. They have good running backs. So yeah, I like Jack. I'm laying the points and I bet the over.
Boise -4.5, total also 57.5. UNLV catching the 4.5. I like Boise. I like Genty. I think it's a dream season for Boise. I like Boise here.
They just
UNLV can be spoiler, and you're playing for the conference and the playoff. Obviously,
it's almost not even. It is spoiler, but it's like they'd get in the playoff.
It's straight
too.
up. Yeah, they'd get
So
in.
it's almost not even spoiler. Like
Yeah.
they're playing for the same thing. I bet UNLV. I'm like almost. It feels like this is like the sexy like capper pick. Like everyone loves like UNLV, but I think there's a lot of reason to like him, and that like they played each other already. UNLV defended Genty very well, like defended the run very well. They kind of made Boise throw the ball, and this is another one. Boise's at home here. This is true. Like this is in Idaho,
Straight up game
at Boise Stadium. So it's a real home game. I just think UNLV, like I thought a lot of like some things went wrong for them in that game that like they easily like could have won the game. I think they ended up losing by like 5 or 6, something like that. It was like 29-24, like 30-24, something like that. So it was a close game the first time around. But yeah, I'm taking the points. I just think it's also one of those things where it's like you almost just know like a spoiler type thing's gonna happen. Like where's it gonna happen? And Boise just has seemed to be like slotted in that spot all year. And it just feels like UNLV is kind of just like equipped to come in here and just kind of like snatch it at the last second.
No, I don't hate that.
But I like it just matchup-wise. Like they just the way they defended the run the first time around, and now Genty I think is like more banged up than he was then. I think he's just been dealing with so many injuries, like feet, shoulder, elbow. Like he's nicked up. He's a running back that's getting the ball 35 times a game. It's game 13, 12. Like he's just banged up at this point.
You know he's getting it too.
Yeah, 100%.
This might be just like nitpicking, but like Boise can be 4 in the playoff or 10 in the playoff rankings. When they release a bracket, don't you think it should just say Mountain West winner? Like if I was UNLV the whole year, I'd be looking at that when it says Boise on there. I'd be mad. Like you're slating Boise into the bracket. We got to play out this playoff game. You get what I'm saying? I know it's like nitpicky,
but I don't think you're slating it. I think it's just like that's where they are.
Like
now.
Boise's in the yeah. I guess you're right.
It's just kind of where it's just where they are, like in this exact moment. But obviously, if there's material change, like then we'll make a change.
Right. Okay. But if I was UNLV that whole time looking at Boise, I'd be like, wait a second, we fucking play them.
But I don't think it should be say Mountain West winner because in theory, because I think
Mountain West winner might not get the 4.
Because I'm saying, think if Tulane didn't lose last week. Like, I think them and Army both had a real... I guess Army in theory would still... That was something I thought about. I was like, did Army lose? Oh, no, they won. They won. They beat Utah State. They didn't cover, though. But I was thinking this, if Army wins, like, like UNLV wins, could they, like, jump? I guess they couldn't because the UNLV would have a better win.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I guess, let me say this, just for the argument, just for, like, the perspective on it. If Tulane had not lost to Memphis, I feel like they potentially could have like jumped UNLV if UNLV won. No one could have jumped Boise. If Boise wins, like no G5 team is jumping them. But I think Tulane, if they had beat Memphis, they would have had a chance here. If they beat Army, they would have got basically another big win, like a top 25 win. They could have maybe jumped UNLV. So that's why I think you can't be like, oh, like just Mountain West winner. Right. Because then it's almost like you're just giving the Mountain West doesn't automatically get the bid. That's a good point.
Iowa State versus Arizona State. Arizona State is now -1, total 49.5. Two great coaches in it's Campbell and Dillingham.
Yep.
I really like Arizona State. I love what Dillingham's about here.
I like Iowa State. I've been Iowa State already. I've been high in Iowa State all year. I picked them before the year to go to the Big 12 championship game.
Did you?
Yeah. And they were like 7th or 8th, I think, preseason. I think Arizona State's like, I can't deny how good they've been playing. They're on this insane run. They're definitely playing the best. But I think Iowa State's just been laying in the weeds where like they were the best team. Then they had a couple bad losses. Like they lose to Kansas. I forget who they lost, someone else too. After that, but then they get off the mat. Like they beat Kansas State like pretty handily.
Yeah, they took care of Kansas State.
Like this is a good football team. Like good like solid defense. Their run defense is where I'm concerned because they have Scatterbo. Like if Scatterbo runs all over them, but Jordan Tyson's out, who's like their all-world receiver, so that definitely hurts Arizona State. Iowa State to me, they just feel like this team that's just kind of been laying in the weeds, and like everyone's picking Arizona State like it's like a foregone conclusion, like almost just like slotting them in the playoff already. I think Iowa State's like more than live to win this game. I took it +2. I put it. It was like our pick for the college football show, like in the DraftKings parlay. Bet it already, like straight. I just think I think they're gonna win. I got 2.5. But yeah, I like Rocco Becht a lot, like the quarterback. They have good weapons at offense, like Higgins, Noel, the Sabmer, whatever you say, he's them good running back. Yeah, Matt Campbell, like he's been in this spot before. He's played close in Big 12 championship games. Yeah, I think Iowa State's like more than live.
Okay. I mean, it's +1, so it's basically
I guess what the reason I say live is I'm going contrarian because I feel like everyone is picking Arizona State.
Miami.
I'm on Iowa State.
You're on Iowa State.
I have them in a 12-leg parlay.
Let's go, dudes.
Okay. It's called get an apartment parlay.
Let's go, dudes.
Miami of Ohio -2, Ohio +2, total 44.5.
I bet Miami of Ohio.
Okay.
Money line. Minus like 120. I really like their defense. That's what kind of got them there last year. I think it's kind of what's been the big thing again. They returned like all these starters from last year. Super experienced team, like tough physical team. Gabbert, solid quarterback. Yeah, I like Miami.
I mean, anytime your name is the Spread Hawks, too, I'm going to lean with Miami of Ohio.
I think they win. They won it last year. I think they win it again.
Ohio's one of those teams. Doesn't it feel like Ohio's always at the top of the MAC?
They're good, man. They're a good team. They're definitely a good team. They have a really good run game. Parker Navarro's a good quarterback, dual threat guy. But, I just think Miami, Ohio's defense I trust here. I'm trusting them to bring it home.
This game should be played Friday night, too. The AAC game should be Saturday.
I don't mind that
MAC, I don't know. The MAC belongs on Friday night.
But the MAC is like a noon MAC like makes sense to me. Like that noon Saturday, like at Ford Field.
Yeah. Texas -3 against Georgia, total 50.
This is another one where I feel like I'm on like the trendy. Like I pick Texas. I bet Texas.
Okay.
I feel like this is kind of another one where it's like the cappers love it. Like it's kind of the like go contrarian from like the first matchup. But that's also kind of what I'm thinking. I think it's part of me is like they got shellacked at home by Georgia. Why are they favorites again now in a neutral site? And a neutral site that it's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a pseudo home game for Georgia.
I like the under.
I don't hate that.
I think the teams are going to I think you're going to get a little bit of a slow start. Brad said it as well. He thinks you get good Georgia here. You know, it's been a while. Georgia tuned up. They want the bye. You're playing for a great. You could have 2 losses and still have a great seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll be like the 2 seed.
Yeah, they'll be in a great
won.
spot. Yeah, great spot. I think it's the under here. And leaning, if you're making me pick a side, I don't know. I trust Kirby. I'll probably take Georgia.
So my thing is a few things. I guess I like Sark making adjustments. I like how good Texas defense has looked since that Georgia game. I also just if you look at Kirby, like someone that when he's fallen a lot of times, it's been in this and like they're still gonna make the playoffs, so it's not like the season would be ending or anything. But the SEC championship game has kind of been the spot where he's like shit his pants a little bit. And we also even saw it the year where they played Bama in the regular season, like the year when Georgia won the national title. With they beat Bama the first time. They lay an egg and get like schlacked in the SEC title game by Bama, and then they go beat them in the national title game. I could see something almost like a reverse happening here. I guess it would be kind of this or whatever. It doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying? That like we've seen them like have these good performances early, then like lay an egg to the same team. I mean, even we saw it like last year. They could have. I think they definitely could have won the national title. They lay an egg to Bama in the SEC championship game, blow their spot. Obviously, not going to blow their spot this year. But I just think Texas. I just like Sark, just like kind of the way he'll make adjustments. I just love the way the defense has like responded, and I think they've had some guys come on like Wingo, like offensively. The running backs have come on. I like Texas here. I think Texas kind of makes a statement that they're like a legit national title team.
Yeah, I think it's, people are saying, it takes a little bit of the juice away. They're both in. I think playing for a seed is a big deal, too.
Well, I think this one, like loser, you got to play games. Like, I think
loser,
like the winner gets a bye.
If you're a loser, Georgia, you have to play on the road. Is Georgia slated for the 10 or the 7? Am I mixing that up?
I think
Indiana's the 10.
if Georgia loses, I think they'd still get a home game.
You think they still would get a home game?
Yes. Because I'm telling you, the SEC, it's going to be bullshit when it happens to SMU, and we'll get there. But like Georgia will not get penalized for losing. They might penalize SMU because the shit's all fucked.
Yeah, they should penalize Georgia with seed though.
No, but they'll be
saying, all right, if Georgia gets 3 losses and lose to Texas, they should still hold the 7.
I'm telling you, I think they're going to because their third loss is like not.
And I guess here's the other problem. Like Tennessee is at 9, so how do you jump Tennessee over Georgia?
Exactly.
That's a problem.
And they're going to keep them in front of Ohio State because that's just kind of, I think at least. Well, also for matchup wise, like I really think they want to do like the playoff wants to do cross conference matchups if they can. Like for example, like you really think
10 SEC,
you think they're going to match it up so Ohio State plays Indiana again and Georgia plays Tennessee again?
No,
they're going to make it so Ohio State plays Tennessee, Georgia or Texas, I guess. But the only thing it would change a little bit because if Texas loses, they'd be the 5 probably.
Yeah,
I think they'd still be in front of Notre Dame. They'd be the 5. But if Georgia loses, I think they'll be like the 7.
Okay,
and then make them Georgia, Indiana, and Ohio State, Tennessee. Okay. I think that's what they want. I think it's what kind of makes sense. But yeah, I like Texas in the game. I like the under play too. I haven't bet it yet, but I might bet the under.
Louisiana minus 5.5 against Marshall plus 5.5. Total 58. It was Brad's best bet yesterday, right? Dukes, Louisiana.
Sure.
Pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I was kind of out of it, to be honest.
Okay. Pretty sure it was Louisiana. You have some issues with Marshall's coach that the people might not know a lot about.
Yeah, it's such a weird situation. Charles Huff, he's a good coach. He's been there I want to say, I think he's coached 50. He's 4 years or so. He's done a really good job. I mean, I think he's 31-20 or something. They beat Notre Dame a couple years ago. They're obviously in the conference title game this year. They've been one of the better teams in the conference during his tenure. And it's this weird thing where he's done a good job. Obviously, they're in the conference championship game. And Marshall just doesn't want him back. It's a very weird situation. And there's already kind of it sounds like kind of a behind closed doors handshake agreement that because they don't want him back, he's going to take the Southern Miss job. So it's just a very bizarre thing where it's do they play for him as a fuck you to kind of the university, basically why do you not want to keep this guy? Or do you just feel
He's
awkward?
so checked out. It's weird.
Do you feel awkward where the school is just fucking him over so much that the players almost feel awkward this is bullshit. I don't know. It's a bizarre how it's kind of just how the team responds. But I just from a pure football perspective, Louisiana's been the best team. Really, they're only they lost to Tulane. They've been fucking really good. Offense is really good, well-rounded. I like the Louisiana pick. They've been an over team. I don't know how he feels about the over. I don't know if he talked about it.
No, I don't think he did.
Louisiana's been a more high-scoring overs kind of team most of the year.
Big Ten, Oregon minus 3.5. Penn State plus 3.5. Total is 50. I'm taking now. I got guys replying to me being "Hey, the FYI, the only Big Ten title that James Franklin went to, he won."
It's true.
It's true.
I was in college. I remember I bet on him.
But I don't know. I think James.
It was the year they beat Ohio State.
Yeah, I think James Franklin in a big time spot. I'm going to fade against them. I like the Ducks.
I bet Penn State. To me, it's just. Listen, I might end up with.
Brad likes Oregon for the record.
Yeah, no, listen. It's
worries about State Penn's defense. They gave up 400 to USC. He had another point too. They went up and people have been going up and down on this vaunted State Penn defense. Just be careful with it. I don't know. He likes Oregon. He also thinks you're going to see a 3.
What do you mean? Oh, get
instead
the
of a 3.5.
I have Penn State 3.5 already.
Okay,
so that's why
and he said, wait. He thinks you're going to get to a 3.
Yeah, I got Penn State plus 3.5. I already bet it. He makes fair points. They're all the things that concern me about Penn State, but I do think they have the D line that can wreak havoc. Abdul Carter is an unbelievable edge rusher, and I think that's kind of one of the matchups to watch in the game is Oregon's offensive line versus Penn State's pass rush. Listen, Oregon's offensive line looked fucking unreal against Ohio State. Ohio State got no pass rush. They also didn't. Knowles refused to send blitz in that game. Weird kind of game plan for him. You see him send blitz later on in the season and just dominate with it. Yeah, my concern is that I like Drew Aller and I like Penn State's run game. I think they're gonna need to really stick to that. Obviously, Tyler Warren's a fucking stud. That's their main receiver. I got to give him the ball a lot. The thing I don't like about Penn State is they just don't have big time athletes on the outside. They have Warren as a tight end, they have the running backs, but they don't have that game
changing wide receivers.
Where it's weird because they haven't had the last few years, but for a while they did have those guys, a ton of them, from even the Parker Washingtons to Allen Robinsons and guys like that they've had over the years that have got drafted and stuff. Jahan Dotson was a stud. They don't have a guy like that this year. So that worries me. And Oregon just has so much speed. We saw their speed. I mean, they dominated Ohio State. Tez Johnson, Evan Stewart. So that'd be the concern. I just think to me this is I actually think this would be a more low scoring game too. More kind of I'm taking Penn State. I'm not taking the under, but I think to me this is a very coin flip game. They're two teams that have only had to play one real game. They played Ohio State. Obviously, Oregon wins. Penn State loses. But yeah, I like Penn State with the points. I think it's closer than people think. I think everyone's going to kind of be on Oregon. But I understand.
If I had to bet the public. Can we search that? There's usually tickets via DraftKings, the most tickets this week, the most money this week. I've been seeing a lot of
because anytime
that is. What?
What do you want?
I want to know if Oregon's public. I think
be.
he's right. I think it could be
I
public.
think the number one team.
Penn's a trendy dog. Like I feel like
I think Oregon's, from what I saw, is the.
Because you got to think a team like Oregon, like number one team, like laying like a short number,
Yeah.
like neutral,
Yeah.
like they like their common opponent, like one beat, one loss to them, like
everything adds
yeah,
up.
like it just kind of you're doing like just like football, like quote unquote football math on that. Just number one team laying a short number. Like I think you're always gonna be favorite
On
in a situation
DK,
like
you can see the percentage of bets placed.
Right.
85% of bets placed is on Oregon.
Okay. What about money? Can you see that?
I don't think you'd see that on like the.
I think that's like sharp guys you can follow. They
Yeah, yeah.
Like
You
DraftKings.
can- yeah, I mean that'll more come out tomorrow. when
Okay.
It's like, I don't think.
Yeah, you gotta wait like closer, but
Yeah.
yeah.
We usually
I mean, you know they're
we
gonna be
usually get the
public.
insights to
Right.
that.
SMU minus 2.5, Clemson plus 2.5, total 55.5. I'm on the over. I'm also surprised here to see SMU favored.
I'm not surprised. I'm on the over too. Actually, I love the over. It's like one of my
Okay.
favorite plays of the weekend. I love the over. I'm not surprised because you look at Clemson, like they've just been inconsistent. And I think SMU, if you look at them, like they had the bad first 2 weeks. Like they had a bad where they basically beat Nevada by 5. Then they lose the game to BYU. They've been really good other than that. Like they've had a couple games where like Duke game, who Duke's aged like well. Duke went 9-3, but they were up big on Duke. Duke ends up coming all the way back. They only beat them by 1. But a lot of these teams, they've throttled a lot of these teams. Like they beat up on Louisville pretty good. They beat up on Pitt pretty good. Like they've dominated a lot of these teams. Like they've been very consistent. They have athletes on the outside. Jennings is a really good quarterback. But it's another one. I'm on SMU. I bet SMU already. I'm worried too because it does feel like everyone's picking SMU, and I wonder. Brett Lashley was talking in an interview, like an online interview, and he kind of mentioned like, basically he made this comment how like basically everyone's already talking about like, oh, Bama's going to take their playoff spot if they don't win, they're going to get jumped by Bama, who has 3 losses. And
I think the whole world should be rooting for SMU to get in.
I think so too
because I don't.
And I think they will.
Does that mean is Bama still in if SMU wins?
Yes.
So how do we get Bama out? Clemson wins,
No,
and then it becomes
yes,
down to SMU,
yes,
Clemson,
but
SMU,
but
Bama.
I think
and I don't think there's a world where SMU gets in over.
No,
Bama.
well that's the problem. Like in theory, it's if like SMU wins, like everything just stays
Right,
as
all
is.
right, so
Like,
it is what it is.
If SMU wins and like there would be no real changes. Like things would, for the most part,
Yeah,
stay as
I
they
said-
are.
I said this to
with
Brad.
a few potentially just moving like a few
I
spots.
said this to Brad yesterday, though. It's like it's one of those things where we have gambling. Excuse me, where it's like something just makes sense. Doesn't it just make sense to you that the first 12-team playoff includes Clemson and Alabama?
Yeah, no, just
Like I just think Clemson.
so-
Like
so-
where
somehow
was Clemson all year?
they both with 3 losses just stumble their way in somehow.
Clemson's got 3 losses as well.
Yes. They lost. They lost to Georgia. They got shellacked by Georgia. They got shellacked by Louisville, and then they lost South Carolina last game of the year.
Jesus, you're right. Yeah, Bama and Clemson being teams with
Both having three
losses.
3 non-conference,
You can't
like
get them
3
out of the
regular
party.
season losses.
That's crazy.
And then, well, the crazy thing is too, obviously, with the whole argument with like South Carolina and Bama and all these teams, that South Carolina would literally beat Clemson at Clemson the last week of the year. And then Clemson would still just kind of like find a way to just sneak their way in the back door. And it's all because of Miami.
Yeah.
Like if Miami just won, it would have been SMU versus Miami. And if that was the case, I think they both would have got in because they both would have had one loss.
and then you can't penalize teams for the losses.
I think if as long as SMU and Miami had played a close game in the title game, they both would have just got in. One would have been like the 3 seed, and one would be probably like the 10 or 11 or whatever.
Yeah.
They would have stayed in.
All right.
That's really what got Bama in.
Yes.
Like that basically
Without a
slid
doubt.
Bama up.
Because Miami has no comparison of a resume
Yeah,
to
Miami.
Bama.
I mean, Miami slid from like whatever they were, like 6 or whatever
Yeah.
they were, to basically to like 14,
Crazy.
15.
All right, we'll run through the NFL. Philly minus 13, hosting Carolina, total 46.5. It's a big spread. I actually think Carolina's been playing better here, but I don't know. I think it's one of those playing better, run into a brick wall. I would lean the 13 with Philly. That's a crazy thing, but I'm definitely not betting it.
Yeah, my knee jerk is like you just see a team. I just like taking that many points in a game, an NFL game. It almost this is one where I want to see like the splits, because Carolina's always been playing so much better the last few weeks, where they come down to the wire against Kansas City, lose on a last-second field goal. They lose to the Buccaneers in overtime in a game that they were driving to win in overtime and fumble. I almost wonder if like the public will be like back on the Panthers, seeing this big of a number with a team that's playing better. That's one where like I would almost be curious to see, because if the public's on the Panthers, I would like, give me the Eagles. Like this is a roll spot. And the Eagles have just been so dominant. I mean, they've been killing teams.
Tampa Bay -6.5 against Las Vegas. Totals 46. Square seems square. I lean Tampa Bay.
No, me too. This is when I got
Raiders are
I
bad.
think being like square, you got to pick your spots. To me, this is like a give me Tampa at home.
Tampa off of a bad game against
Yep,
Carolina last
yep.
week. You can't play twice to a bad,
And
bad.
Tampa's really
Lakers too good.
Tampa, like they need to win every fucking game. They're scratching
Dogfight for that
clawing
division.
for a playoff spot for the division. Yeah, I'll that's one.
Also,
everyone, your mother's gonna be laying it with Tampa. Me too. I'm laying
let's
it
look
with them.
across the aisle of like scoreboard watching. Not that they will be. You take care of your own business. Atlanta's a 6-point dog to Minnesota.
Yeah, no, for sure.
This is the spot we can get.
Like take a game. Yeah, go
take a game.
Take a full game.
Where are they? Are they a game behind right now? Or they're tied.
Well,
They're tied, but
I know.
Atlanta's
Atlanta
tied.
has the
beat
big. Yeah,
Atlanta beat them twice already.
I know. So they have to be ahead of them.
Yeah, they have them big time in tiebreakers.
No. Tampa Bay would be straight up ahead of them. They'd be 7-6, and Atlanta would be 6-7.
big game.
If the spreads
Yeah, huge,
follow.
huge game.
They'd be straight up ahead of them. They would have caught him. What a fucking choke. We
huge
love the
game.
Falcons. We joked about it on the show. What a choke job from the Falcons.
Yeah, tough.
Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh -6.5. Total 43.5. I take the over. Big time.
When you see a minus sign next to the Steelers, you have to fade them.
I agree with Meek. It was one of those.
But don't you think after last week, like there's gonna be a lot of points scored in this game? Pittsburgh's been turning it up. Cleveland's really good with Jameis. I think it's over.
I think Pittsburgh wins, but 6.5 is a little too many points.
I think you
agree. I
can't
like the
take a week by
Browns.
week basis.
Can't
like
take
the-
what
I
week?
think you have to just because what happened last week, it doesn't mean it's going to necessarily
Yeah.
happen this week.
Also, these teams.
Are you going to rely on the Steelers being shootouts?
Also, they played in the blizzard.
Good point.
That game ended up going over, but it was like an insane. They scored so many touchdowns late in the game.
Yeah.
it was like they had like no points until the fourth quarter, and then there was like 4 touchdowns. Yeah, I like the Browns though, catching points. Just too many in like a division game like that. Cold game. Yeah, I like the Browns.
Jets, Miami -5.5. Total 45.5. Lay it with Miami.
The Jets have not won in Miami since Rex Ryan's last game.
Yeah,
There's great stats. Tua is really good at Miami as well. Like at home against the Jets, I think. He owns the Jets. The Jets are just a fucking corpse.
no, I'll take that.
I'll take
You've
Miami.
just been fading the Jets. You're just winning.
Yeah.
They're always
I have
over.
been
It
in
almost
certain
feels like this is the
spots.
time where they're finally like not overvalued, but I'm still taking Miami. They'll just find a way to lose this game by
This
7.
is the time of the show where Clemmer usually says, my favorite bet
Yep.
is to fade the Patriots every week. It's been so profitable. So let me just say this. Fading the Jets is more profitable.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So I will do that again.
You know, this just feels like a game that
I was on.
I mean, it's like last week. Like they're literally the Jets will be driving and go up 28-7.
That live.
and of all people, Leonard Williams, their former player, a pick 6, 99-yard pick.
I
6,
took
puts
Seattle
them on
when it was a
10.
pick 'em. I think I took the Pats. What are the Jets? I'll tell you. What
If
it was.
you
I've
didn't
been fading
take-
the Jets every week.
If you didn't live line the Seattle in New Jersey, like I don't know what to tell you.
I was on Seattle from the jump.
Well, it wouldn't
I was on
matter. You
pregame.
can New York teams pro. It doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just being safe.
But yeah, no.
Colts. I had the Colts and I had the Cardinals in a blowout.
Colts another one, yeah.
I've actually gone against the Jets the last 3 weeks, straight up. And it's
If you
been
didn't, yeah, that live snipe was special.
Oh yeah.
Fuck the Jets.
Dolphins. Lay it with the Dolphins.
all right, Minnesota -6. Kirk Cousins revenge game. Atlanta going to Minnesota. Total 45.5. I think Atlanta's got a lot of problems. I don't know. I kind of lean Minnesota. They're a
torn
nice
here.
team. They're good.
I kind of want to. This is where
6 is a lot of points though. They let some teams hang around.
I think as a Falcons podcast, we need to unite.
No, we don't. Kirk Cousins versus that Vikings defense is going to
Isn't
be
Kirk
awful.
Cousins a little banged up too, a little dinged up?
I mean, he was atrocious
Yeah,
against
bad.
the Chargers last week. But Meek was never a Falcons guy to begin with.
No.
Meek could never just ride with
Which
the
makes
boys.
it so disgusting when I know what's coming in the mail.
Yeah, he could never just ride with the boys one time.
Well, I could be a Falcons guy if they put Penix in. I want to see that action.
I'm all behind that. I'm team Penix, but
I think Kirk is just done as a quarterback. I think he's washed. I think we've seen the best of Kirk Cousins.
There's a part of me that's like, did he just rush back because of Penix?
Yeah, that could be.
no,
part of
I mean he.
Not like it's an excuse
The
or
injury
anything.
was early last season. Like, I think it was in game, 6 or something like that. He got hurt.
But an Achilles injury to a guy, in his late 30s, we saw
My
Aaron
thing is,
Rodgers,
if it was not Penix, the first round draft pick, I don't think he would have been more comfortable coming in week 3 or something.
Probably. That's probably fair.
I don't know if it would have made a difference either. I'm not
That's
saying
probably
that.
fair.
But
And he did look bad week 1.
Awful.
But then
Week 1, I was like,
then
oh,
he looked
shit,
good, but then he looked
rushing.
good for a little
Yeah.
bit, and now he looks bad again.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to think. I wouldn't say don't hold me at gunpoint on this. I'm taking the Falcons, but
Okay.
I
The
don't-
two
I-
plays I have locked in.
We'll see what happens to me on Sunday.
Yeah, 2 plays I have locked in so far is Cleveland, Pittsburgh over, and Miami minus the 5.5. Those are 2 that I'm absolutely in love with. You could also sell me on this one. It's a road favorite, and they're a dumpster fire of a fucking team. But talk me out of the Saints laying 4.5 going to MetLife. Total 41.
This to me,
This is the most winnable game of
I was gonna say.
Yeah, okay.
My giant senses are tingling a little bit. Where I'm just like, this is. I'm not even saying they win. This would be a game where randomly they're just competitive.
And they fuck up the playoff.
Like
the number
Drew
one.
Lock's playing again, who I do think is better than DeVito. I think he can sling it a little bit more live or arm. Not that that's saying much.
A Giants win here would be absolutely devastating.
Devastating.
Maybe even franchise changing in a way. But
Potentially.
yeah, I need a loss this week.
Potentially. Although now they're saying the Raiders might be crazy enough to do the Shedeur Dion combo.
Well, if we get the first overall pick, I want to trade it.
I would say we might not get it though.
The Raiders and Jaguars play each other this year, so one of them has
But that's
to
what
get
I'm saying.
3
So
wins.
if the
So we have to stick
if
two.
the Raiders just win, the Jags are going to get it. And and now that Lawrence is done for the year, I don't know how they win another game.
Well, they're only a 3-point dog at Tennessee somehow. If you want to go into next.
Well, I mean, Tennessee is bad. I mean, I actually, you know what? I'll take a step back because Mac Jones actually played well in the second half last week. So I guess they didn't look as inept as he had the few weeks before.
Tennessee minus 3 against Jacksonville. Total of 40. I want to
Toilet
take.
bowl.
It is a toilet bowl. I want to take Tennessee, but this is one of those things you don't take bad teams laying points. But I don't know. I just hate Jacksonville. Jacksonville's so bad.
Jacksonville got
bad.
such an unbelievable cover for me last week. That was an unbelievable cover. Lawrence goes down. They're down 23-6. They storm back and hit the 2-point conversion, cut it to 3 to get inside the number. You know what? Maybe I will be on the Jags.
I think it's a stay away.
Maybe I will be on the Jags with the points.
Sneaky, a really good game. Should be in the 4 o'clock window, right? Am I at the 4 o'clock window yet?
Seahawks Cardinals.
Seahawks
under.
Cardinals. Yeah, I think actually. Well, let's do the math. What's the game of the weekend?
You haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, Chiefs Chargers is the game of the weekend. I apologize, but is this Rams Buffalo? I would say silver medal. But for a division,
this is a big one.
bronze
This
or
is a swing game.
No, this
Is
is a
this
huge
bronze
one.
or is this silver?
It's argument.
I think it's a great game.
I mean, this has more. Buffalo Rams will probably be more exciting to watch potentially. I mean, this game we saw this game a few weeks ago. It was 16-6 or something.
Yep.
That was the final, but I'll lean the Seattle for right now.
Okay, Buffalo minus 3.5 going to the Rams. Total 49.5.
Man,
You want to take the Rams in a last?
give me the Rams plus 3.5. Like this, last. I'll lean the Seattle for right now.
Okay, Buffalo minus 3.5 going to the Rams. Total 49.5.
Man,
You want to take the Rams in a last?
give me the Rams plus 3.5. Like this, last stand game, kitchen sink game. Bills are going across country off a
massive
massive
win.
win, a laugher in the snow. Yeah, I'll take the Rams 3 in the hook. I could easily see like a Bills like win by 1, win by 3. Give me the Rams.
Yeah.
Maybe the over too.
I think if you're Buffalo, though, I don't know.
What's
you look
the total?
Total's 49.5. You look across the aisle. Is this a potential slip-up game for the Chiefs against the Chargers? And then you're back in the discussion for the 1 seed? Like, do the Bills give it? I don't know. It's weird. I don't want to say give it their full effort. You're always giving it your full effort. But, like, do the Bills see this as a we can't slough off game? We can't joke around game?
No, listen. The Bills have been, I mean, what have they lost 1 game this year?
Yeah.
2? Or 2 games. So, I mean, they've been elite all year. So, I don't think it's like I just think it's like a tough spot versus like a good team, a well-coached team, good quarterback, a team that's, you want to talk about like hungry dogs. Like, they absolutely need this one. They're at home. This is kind of one of your like, this is a game where like you said, the kitchen sink game. Like, you're kind of like, your quarterback's older. Yeah, like, this is it. Like, you're making like, if things don't go right in these next few weeks, like, you're talking about potentially making like huge changes.
San Francisco -3.5 hosting Chicago, total 44.
Oh.
I look at a team of like, when's it going to click? When's it going to click? When's it going to click for San Fran? We keep saying kitchen sink game for San Fran. I don't know. To me, it's almost like I think they're dead already, San Fran.
Also, this is
hold your nose and play the Bears, but that's
that's
a disgusting statement.
But you got to remember, this is a first post-Eberflus Bears game. I think this is a classic like interim coach
I think
game.
It's the Bears. I think
that's
San
what I'm
Fran's
saying.
Dead.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is an interim coach game. This is like this team hated Eberflus so much. I really think we're talking about after the game, the players are literally attacking him like in front of the whole team. Like, what a fucking clown this guy is. Keenan Allen literally saying the players did everything we could to win this game. Literally just saying point blank, the coach fucked us over. I think they rally around that this clown Eberflus is gone. I will gladly take the Bears +3.5. I think they win.
Yeah, let's put that all together. Well, we'll do.
The most Bears thing of all time would be them like winning and then like losing by like 3 late. But
Kansas City Chargers, total 43. Have we
what's
seen
the line?
-4 totals 43
in
Kansas City? Have we seen? Is Kansas City due? Is Kansas City due for just a laugher? Like, they haven't had. They've won a game by 10 points.
Well, it's crazy.
What is their schedule? Like, have they won?
Kansas City?
Yeah, has like Kansas City had a laugher yet? Everybody's due for a laugher. Like, can you win 13, 14 games and not have a laugher? This might be the most dumb conversation ever, but beat the Rams by 7, beat the Bengals by 1, beat the Falcons by 5, beat the Chargers by 7. Okay, beat the Saints by 13, but I wouldn't call that.
They covered, but not like a laugher.
Yeah, like, beat the 49ers by 10, beat the Raiders by 7, beat the Bucks by 6, the Broncos by 2, lost to the Bills by 9, even a laugher of a loss. Like, you could almost talk me into the Chargers blowing them out. They've yet to have a blowout. That just seems weird for a season.
So the thing I want
Panthers by 3, Raiders by 2. But are the Chiefs good enough to blow anybody out? Which is a crazy statement too.
The thing I see here, just value wise, is earlier this season when the Chiefs and Chargers played, it was at Chargers. The Chiefs were minus like 7.5. Now they're at home. They're only -4. This is that like territory where like I debate almost, are people too down on the Chiefs now? This is almost a time where I think I might like get back in on the Chiefs, where I've been betting against them as like big favorites. I've been winning, fading them, taking 10 points, 12, 13 points.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's a Sunday night game, right?
I kind of want. This is where I'm.
Sunday night at home.
I might bet the Chiefs. I might bet
17-0 Chiefs, right? And you're like, what did I
Also,
miss?
I think the Chargers are just not like, I think they're good, but I think there's a separator. Like I think and I think we've seen a little bit when they play good teams, they don't do as great. When they handle business against bad teams. Yeah, I think I think I'll be on the Chiefs here. I kind of got a feeling about the Chiefs. I think they can go win this game. And just value, like they're laying 7.5 on the road. Now they're only laying 4 at home. And they won by 7 on the road the first time. I saw this.
What happened to him?
Because he got the hair thing like it makes your face like,
oh,
they put all the, what's it called, saline or whatever the fuck it's called,
in
your head, and obviously it makes your whole head. He looks like fucking me. Makes your whole face swell up.
Okay, I didn't notice.
You hadn't seen the pictures. He looks insane.
I can't even tell.
I didn't notice quickly.
He looks like
he's making a weird face.
Oh, no, Dukes.
Pull it up.
No, Dukes. Go to the picture he posted. It's like worse. He posted one that it's like, holy fuck. What do you mean? Look at his face and eyes; they're so separated. He posted one that it looks way more like.
Oh yeah, his eyes are separated.
Keep going. Hold on. Keep going. No, keep going down. There's one. This one. Look at.
Oh yeah, he's
look at his
fucked
fucking
up.
face, dude.
Okay,
It looks
yeah,
like an
all right.
avatar. He literally it's like the point. It looks like an avatar.
Yeah, that is fucked up. Jesus Christ! And you can't wear a hat. Nothing. You gotta.
I mean, no, your head's so swollen.
Yeah.
You're like waiting for the swelling to go down. I think
Jeez.
that's why. And also, like, when you go on planes, it makes you're fucking. You know how your legs are all like you feel like not bloated, but you know what I'm saying. They like get acid buildup, whatever in them.
Jesus.
Imagine going on a plane for like 12 hours while your head's already swollen. Head's gonna feel like a balloon when you're up there.
Cincinnati.
I give him credit though. I wish I had my hair.
Cincinnati -5.5 going to Dallas. Total 49.5 on Monday night. Dallas is bad, but should Cincinnati laying 5.5? I find myself.
I
in a
almost
weird
want to
spot.
take. I don't blame you. I almost want to just take it. I want to take the over too. It almost just feels like the Bengals. What's the total? What is
49.5. It's
it?
big.
Yeah, I think I might take the over. This is one like I'll lean Bengals. Yeah, I mean I don't know. The Bengals, it's like the dream's dead. The like Joe Burrow in the playoffs puncher's chance thing is just dead. They have no shot now. They're cooked.
What do you have written down in pen? Would you say for the NFL?
In pen, I
Or
would
you
say,
could see yourself going in pen. For me, it's Cleveland, Pittsburgh over 43.5, and Miami -5.5. I also could see myself taking Miami first half.
I would say
And two passing touchdowns.
I would say Miami I'd be pretty locked into. I would say the Browns pretty locked in. The Bucks I would say I'm locked in. Rams like highly likely. Bears like highly likely. Yeah, I would say those I'm pretty like solid on.
Bears just make. I think the Bears are the right side. It just makes me uncomfortable.
No, totally. The Niners are still scared because they just have this feeling like they can just like turn it on. But the Bears got a good defense, and again, I think the post Eberflus game is going to hit like crack. Like it's just going to be like, just you got to be there for it. You got to be on the Bears after they fire Eberflus.
What Dukes and Meek? What do you guys have that you would put in pen for the NFL?
Nothing.
You got nothing. Pick show for the NFL. You have no game you're excited about. We just went through 15 games. You got nothing you're excited about for the NFL.
Drake May's on a bye.
Yeah, Pats are on a bye. Why would he have
What
some?
a fucking.
No, I'm kidding. I actually disagreed with you. I like the Chargers this one.
Okay.
The Sunday night game. When you look at just Justin Herbert in the past with bad defense, I think he usually, in my memory, this could also just be all bullshit. In my memory, plays the Chiefs pretty well. Even like last season, I think they played him close in like a shitty year. So, look, +4. I think the Chargers are playing their best ball. I get that they're playing on the road right now, but I think I'm just a Chargers guy. I think I might be a little Chargers biased, so I'm going to take them with the numbers.
Go Chargers.
This is going to be a big swing week in the AFC. I love the Bills -3.5. I think they go into LA. I think they just storm the Rams, who kind of their defense is kind of fluky.
That's the Clemmer pick.
You call it a Clemmer pick.
I would
but
I would bet my life that Clemmer's laying the points for the Bills.
He probably is, but
Oh, without a doubt, this is a team he loves versus a team he hates.
You'd be like, the Bills are good, the Rams are bad. They're laying 3.5.
So-
Easy.
I have the Bills winning that game, and I love the Chargers +4. I think this is the week that the Bills take the 1 seed in the AFC and don't give it back.
I'm also on the Rams +3.5. And what was the other one that I'm on?
He could be in a meeting.
I love the 49ers -3.5.
Yeah, against the
Bears.
I love the interim coach spot. I can't love it more.
I don't think the interim coach spot works against a really good coach. I'd say what you want about Kyle Shanahan.
Shanahan's a good coach. This Niners team is just falling apart at the seams.
I think they quit. I don't think they care anymore.
Maybe.
To me, it's when I see this team, I think about it from like a human element too. Of like, well, one, you have all these injuries, and two, it's like almost how do you get a team that's been Super Bowl or bust for like 5 years, 6 years straight off the mat after getting embarrassed, and more just like we have no
nothing to
shot.
play
We have
for.
literally nothing to play.
Zero. And you're in absolutely no man's land because you're not getting a good pick either. They didn't.
I
bomb.
agree. And a bad coach would instill that mentality in them. What is it?
He called Clever, then he texted Clever and said,
He's on a plane. He likes the Bills.
Bills Rams. He
Loves the
said
Bills.
Bills. It's like I can.
It might win. It probably will.
I can listen. Of course, it might win. I can just look at an NFL slate and just like tell you like. I think I could go hit 80% on just telling you which picks Clember likes.
Yeah.
He's been out of all the shitty gamblers, he's been the least shitty.
Yeah, fair. I guess he has. I just bring his ball, just less volume.
Yes.
I'm 1-8. What am I looking at right now? 1-8. Yeah, it's been bad.
Honestly, I've started going less volume during the week, 1 pick a day, and since I've done, I'm like 2-0-1.
Yeah, I've been cutting down the card.
Just sit at the top.
Feast week was like just because there's so much action going, it could be murderer's row. Like I remember there was a point in the college basketball season where I was net profitable every single day, besides 2, and those 2 days I went down 15 units.
Yep.
That's how it
10
goes.
plus units each day.
That's how it goes.
I went 3 out of 4 on that parlay the other night. I needed Kansas to show up. Kansas didn't win.
I just put together a huge parlay. That's what I'm rooting for.
In terms of tonight, I like the Pacers minus the 3. Chicago won a back-to-back. They're not on the road back-to-back. I think they went road to home. Pacers are a pretty good team. I'll take an NBA shot first time in months just off of the spot. I like the Pacers. Maybe because it's hanging out with Vib so much, but I like the Pacers minus the 3. What are you on tonight?
I'm on.
I should say in terms of Pat Hill as well. I'm on Tulane, Boise, and I think that's it as well.
I mean, you're on opposite. I'm on Jacksonville State minus 4 and the over 57.5 in that game. I'm on UNLV plus 4, and I'm on Army. I'm actually taking both ways. I'm on Army first half plus 3.5. And game plus 5.5, and I'm on Army Tulane under 45.5.
Okay.
I started Mikey Stadium. Actually, when I was a kid in 7th, 8th grade, we played our championship games there.
Oh yeah.
Played on Mikey Field multiple times.
That's awesome.
And we had a team in our district who they like started a team basically that was like by West Point, and they didn't have a home field, and Army let them use like their stadium as a home field. So I played at Army's field a few times actually. Mikey Stadium is fantastic. Gonna be cold there. A classic. It's triple option weather.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Triple option weather.
Phil, anything big or anything you're locking into Penn?
Yeah, Phil. How about Penn State, by the way?
I was
on him last night. I'm a laugher. I was
and by the way, everything I thought was going to happen, where I took Penn State, I was like...
No, you're a Penn State guy. You were on him early.
Huge. Love Penn State. I was like, this is the one game where I'm like, I don't know, this is Havoc. You got like veteran point guards that like will be able to control this Havoc defense. What a disaster.
Dude, their defense is tenacious.
That's the Mike Rhodes factor.
They're in your ass.
And they're legitimately in your ass.
Like they are.
There's not even a pause. They are in there.
The way their guards defend is insane.
Ace Baldwin's amazing, and that's a guy that's who terrorized Dayton for a couple of years. And that Mike Rhodes is like I think one of the best coaches in the country.
He was at VCU.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And VCU is just a fucking factory pulling out good coaches, but yeah, I really like Penn State in general, and their offense is humming. Like VCU's identity for a little bit was like their offense wouldn't go, but they're going.
What number did you get them to win the Big Ten?
3,000. They're already at 1,800.
They were at it's like 300 to 1.
Yeah.
Wow, good number.
I also took them.
Regardless, it's a good.
I also
number.
took them in a. I have a 5 conference winner parlay.
That team, like you see that team just eye test. Listen, I know that was like the best version of them.
For sure, at home.
That's a tournament team.
Oh, that's
like easy. That's 100%.
My whole thing
in the Big Ten, destined for an 8-9.
Like that is a
give a 1.
That is. I'm telling you, that'll wreak havoc.
Yes.
My
like
whole
that's the
thing
thing that like Kansas goes play to somebody that they're like you're looking up with like 5 minutes left and it's like a 2-point.
They're
game.
just destined for an 8-9 seed. I know. It.
Honestly, I think they're ceiling. They have a chance to be even higher.
I think they have a chance to be a top 20 team.
Really?
Dude, I think they're 8-1. They just smashed Purdue at home. Like they're in just. I watched the whole game on the plane last night.
Elite
they're
guard.
Dude, they're good. They're good. They got bit like Puff Johnson.
They're in it. Yeah,
Puff Johnson. They got some.
Who's winning the Big Ten?
I don't know.
It's
wide open.
100%.
It's wide open for the first time.
Illinois, I know, is good.
Illinois is good, but like
they play tonight.
And again, my whole thing is I think
their go-to Northwestern.
Michigan might win the Big Ten.
I agree, but I don't think nobody's going to
next week.
Nobody's going to run away with it, in my opinion. I think
nobody ever runs away with the Big Ten.
Exactly. So I think Penn State's going to be in striking distance the entire year. Like that's why I like the numbers so much.
No, I think it was a great bet, Dukes. Regardless of what happens, it's a great bet.
Right.
I have one play tonight.
I love that. I like how we're I appreciate it.
I'm not gonna
but
win
I love how we just stamped a good bet, one win in.
No, but just I mean,
I agree.
They're just a team that clearly has a better than 300 to 1 shot to win the Big Ten.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like, I don't care what on paper. Like they are clearly, whether you say value, whether it's 100 to 1 or 50, whatever you think in your head, clearly better than 301 chance to win the Big Ten.
They could be a Bosco guy. We're gonna add them to the family.
Rhodes. I know it's hard. Everything I've said about State Penn is very hard.
Yeah. You call them State Penn as we speak.
It's very hard.
I am taking Tyrese Halliburton under 19.5 points tonight, minus 105.
Love that.
Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers are on the road in Chicago. Tyrese Halliburton in road games, absolutely atrocious.
True. I saw these splits.
All right.
Really bad.
Can he be atrocious and the Pacers still win and cover or no?
Oh, the Bulls are pretty bad. So, yeah, maybe Ben Mandarin drops like 40 tonight. But
I didn't see, isn't he averaging on the road legit like 11 points a game?
Hit
Like something
very,
ridiculous.
very bad.
Like 12? Like horrific on the road.
it's like
Shooting like 15% from three. Like something crazy.
he
Just really
might
bad.
be the worst $200 million player in the NBA when you think about what guys are asked to do.
What a fall from grace when, remember NBA Cup 2023? We're talking about this man being a top. There was real discussions like he's arrived top 5 NBA player.
Yeah, like when I start going across guards around the league, it's like I'll take Brunson over him. I'll take Trae Young. I'll take De'Aaron Fox, and obviously like we'll get into like the Steph tier, but like
For sure.
like Halliburton's kind of like a bottom 10, like top 10 of the point guards.
I would agree. I mean, you saw obviously even with like the
I might take Derek White over him.
Meek, I swear to God, that's what I was going to say. I was like, I'd rather have if I was like starting a team, I'd rather have Derek White like on my basketball team
Than who?
And
than
Tyrese Halliburton.
I mean, yeah, Derek White is still somehow underrated.
Derek White's just a winning player. He's again someone I categorize like winning players. Just a guy that can shoot. I mean, he's an elite defender at guard and can block shots. Like he can rebound. Because Derek White's a team like you don't need to like you can plug Derek White into any basketball team and they're going to get better.
If he wanted to go for 30 every night on like some shitty team, he could.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like he's a guy like there's a certain guy, for example, like I think Halliburton would be the type where like, oh, it depends like what kind of like roster structure you have. Like Derek White's a guy like throw him on any roster.
I agree with that.
And they're just improving.
Yeah, I agree
Like
with
he's
that.
just helping them no matter what his role is on that specific team. I'm a big fan of Derek
I have
White.
3 picks tonight.
Sure.
High Point plus 1.5.
High Point's playing tonight.
High Point's playing tonight.
I'm a
I
big
like
High
them in the
Point
bounce back spot. They're playing a pretty good team in North Texas.
North Texas is very good.
Yeah, that's just like low key a good program.
That's a good game.
I like High Point plus 1.5 in a bounce back spot. I know North Texas is too, but I think I'm big on High Point this year. Siena plus 2, and Duquesne minus 3.5. Shout out 3-point sniper.
I told you, go. That's my consigliere.
Yeah, I always take a pick from him.
How did he do last night?
Hit.
Good.
He had to, but the number also moved a shit ton. It went from 144.5 to 148.
He got a good number. It ended on 148.
Okay.
But he gave it out the night before. He tweets it
I
out.
got fucking
3-point sniper legend. When he locks it in, I lock it in.
I got closing line value on that, and then North Carolina Central yesterday. I took them plus 4, and it closed at 2.5. And I think at the end of the game, I didn't see exactly what happened, but I think it was an end one, so Radford won by 3, and North Carolina Central was up the entire game. So if anyone took it at 2.5, sorry for you.
So by the time we're all together again next week, I think Juan Soto will have signed by then. What's your prediction on his contract?
For just years or money? Or
Like,
both, I guess.
Just team, years, money.
Yankees, 15 years, $715 million.
I was gonna say Mets 15 years, $750 million. I think Cohen just goes the extra mile and just like blows the door open.
I guess we'll see if it's enough. We'll see. We'll see how much he values like the top bidder as opposed to like the like at one point at like what point of money does it like even matter anymore? Or maybe to him it always matters. I guess we'll see.
By the way, I asked PMT Stats for the records since September.
Probably ugly.
Makes sense. Crazy I could be
A lot of TD scores, a lot of parlays.
plus 16 in games and just down 23 units.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like even and I'm down 11. So I've lost every 2
And
units.
Clever somehow is like, I know he's hit a few of his like random these defensive touchdown scores and shit. I've done good in college and bad in NFL. That not good.
Yeah,
in NFL.
I asked about your units because I was like, what? I don't get the math, and it was like, and
It's also
You got
look
your
at how much volume I play.
you're 140, 158, and 9 in the NFL, down 32.
Yeah, I know NFL is bad.
What
College
am
I've
I in
been
the NFL?
good. College I've been good.
I feel like my TD scores hold me down.
I didn't ask
All right,
about you.
that's fine.
Nobody was asking about you for some reason.
On that note,
Nobody was asking
on that
about you.
note, that's Pick Central for a Football Friday. Ev will be here Monday. Myself and Clemmer and Marty, I think, are all filming things. So
I also won't be here.
yeah, so,
Meek also won't be here.
We're
We'll
filming
be doing a
things
football.
on Monday.
We'll be doing a football Monday.
Football Monday, lots to unpack. You'll have the
We'll know the college football playoff. We'll obviously we'll have conference championship games, NFL, all that.
so Yak's up next. We'll see you next week.